Hello, farmers, and welcome to the harvest season. My name is Al,
And my name is Rochelle.
and we're here today to talk about farming games.
Woo!
Woo!
The best kind of games.
Absolutely. Today, we're going to talk about some feedback. We're going to talk about what we've been playing. We're going to go run down quickly some news. There's not a huge amount of news, but there is some news, and I'm sure we'll find a way to talk about it for an hour.
That's what we do best.
And then today we're going to talk about 2 mobile farming games.
What?
A little something different for you. Well, hopefully that's not an actual surprise from you, Rochelle, because you should have prepared something for this.
I did. You can see my very well-constructed notes right there in the show notes, Al.
Yes, I can.
I like that normally when we do a game, I'm the one who does like aggressively detailed notes that are really, really long. And this time you did the really, really long, aggressively detailed notes. And my notes are just like, why do I always inherit a farm from a family member? Like random bullet points. Nothing makes sense.
Well, and this is possibly an interesting thing to tease. We might have something different in my game that I've brought to the table.
Ooh.
We will get to that when we get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, feedback first.
Feedback. I love getting feedback so much.
Just in case you've never mentioned that before.
Just in case nobody knows.
Yes, so we have another email from Dan. Thank you, Dan, for your email. It's always good to get feedback on the feedback from our feedback.
Thanks, Dan. Just so you know, they, them, their is a perfectly acceptable singular pronoun that's been in use in that function for, I believe, since the 1300s, actually. So use it. That makes it sound like we're telling Dan that they did something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, how do I word this to make it not sound accusatory? Oh no.
Dan, you are doing the correct thing using they, their. That is acceptable.
You're doing good, and I'm proud of you. As someone who's a big fan of pronouns, I guess. So, although that did remind me that, like, when we did our little beginner intro to us episode, did we ever say our pronouns?
I don't know.
I don't think
Probably
we did.
Not. I don't think so.
Probably not, because that's a mistake, but that's okay. Al, your pronouns are he, him, his, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Nice. My pronouns are any combination you so please of the she and they sets. So, now y'all know. Now y'all can use all those gender neutral pronouns all the time. I'm a big fan. A+. Good email. Thank you, Dan.
So that's the feedback. Thank you.
If you want to email us about pronouns or anything else, email us at our website, harvestseason.club.
.club. And I hope you all appreciate that, because probably this time last year, we were spending a lot of time trying to figure out the best domain name to use.
It was very tough. There were a lot of choices. It turns out there's a lot of choices nowadays. Not like back when I was a young child and I was making my Yu Yu Hakusho fan site. And I don't even remember what it was called. Which is probably good. I don't want somebody going on, I don't know, like the Internet Archive thing, trying to look up my crappy 10-year-old Yu Yu Hakusho fan website. So, Al.
Yes.
What have you been playing recently?
What have I been playing? Well, I've been playing some Zombies Run.
Yeah? How far are you?
I've just done another 2. 2, I think.
Tell me all your thoughts. Wait. That one is, okay, so you did Lay of the Land and the one where you, oh, geez, spoilers.
Yeah.
And the one with the child.
Yes, the one where they brought a child into it. Thank you very much. I did not like that.
But we saved the child.
Yeah, yes, this time.
And she also got to stay with her dad.
Yeah, okay. And like he's not suspicious.
I love hearing your thoughts on this stuff. You want to hear a spoiler from something mildly technically related?
Why not? I've given up on caring. I talk to you too much to care
I'm
about spoilers now.
I'm wearing you down. uh Listeners, this is a hopefully consensual wearing down of Al's spoiler preferences. Don't actually think that wearing anyone down on anything is a good idea. This has been a public service announcement. So in the Zombies Run Couch to 5K training app, you actually meet Molly's mom because it takes
As
place.
a zombie.
No, as a living human. The Couch to 5K training, the whole story takes place between mission 1 and mission 2.
All right. Fair enough.
So, just in case you wanted to be more sad, you knew her once. She was very nice.
I'm sure she was.
You're welcome.
So there's that. I've also been playing a lot of the game that I'm going to talk about in the main section today, which is called Tiny Pixel Farm.
Which is
So
such
I've been
a
playing
cute
a lot
name.
of that. It's great. Great name. We'll get into how I actually feel about the game later in the episode. But I have been constantly trying to play My Time at Portia.
Mm-hmm.
Trying so hard. So hard.
Oh. Are you playing on Switch?
I am.
Yeah. We'll talk about that eventually, but the Switch
will.
port just is not, yeah.
I think part of it is the issues with the Switch port. It you know, we've talked about it before. It's so slow at loading things, like ridiculously slow. And every time they update, I think, oh, maybe this time it will not be as slow. And then 5 minutes later, I'm still loading the game. You know, you think it's long, and then it's just longer than you thought it was the last time. So it's partly that. But it's also just partly the kind of whole fundamental point of the game. I just don't like how it works, the mechanics of crafting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are some bits I like, but I think the problem is that the crafting is so fundamental to the game that if you don't enjoy that, it's really difficult to get through that to actually enjoy the rest of it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get into, you know, I was never massively convinced with Trio of Towns until I got a chunk of the way into it, and now I love that game. So I might get into it eventually. I don't know.
We'll
I'm going to
see.
keep trying.
Brave soul.
Yeah. And today I downloaded the Dragon Quest Builders 2 demo. So I'm going to see how I enjoy that before buying the full game. But immediately liking it because it has so much control over the camera. It's great because I hate the default camera that it has, which is like it's very similar to the My Time at Portia camera where you're like really close to the character, but you can zoom out and it will stay zoomed out, and it's a much more pleasing camera angle from zoomed out. I really don't like really zoomed in camera angles, and I just feel claustrophobic when that happens. And it's like I need to see more than just myself.
The world is very pretty. I would like to see it.
Exactly. So yeah, thumbs up for that already. But I mean, I've literally spent 5 minutes playing it. So I think that's everything I've been playing. I'm trying to remember.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's about it. What have you been playing, Rochelle?
Oh gosh, you're never gonna believe this, but I've been playing some Zombies Run.
What?
Wow, so amazing. Yeah, about the same as last time. I'm on season 8. 2 new missions come out every Wednesday. I am very anxious this season. It's a roller coaster. I'm very worried right now. I'm very worried right now. That's all I can say. I'm very worried right now. I feel less bad about spoiling like the first 5 missions of season 1 because like those are the ones that like default come with the app and everything. But like by the time you get to like season 8, so much has happened that like first of all, any spoiler I could give you, I would have to like do an in-depth explanation just to have you understand it. So I'm just like, no, don't even bother.
I'll get there one day.
You'll get there. I've been playing some of the game that I'm covering today, which I can't wait to cover it and delete it from my phone. Uh, and then other than that, I have been playing a lot of one of my favorite video games ever, actually, which is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which is the best Zelda game. Don't at me. I mean, actually at me because I like talking to people, but don't question me because I'm correct. Turns out that's one of my favorite games ever. I love it a lot. It's a very good game. I love it so much. You don't even know.
I have never played Majora's Mask.
So you can buy it on the 3DS now, and it's actually a very good play on the 3DS.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do that.
It looks really good. No, like it looks very good still.
I'm sure it does.
It plays very well. It uses the hardware very well. It's a very good game. It's my favorite Zelda game. Until Zombies Run, it was my favorite game ever. It's now my second favorite game ever. It's really good. It's very, very... How would I explain? You know Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
It is like aggressively the exact opposite of that game. Where like Breath of the Wild is like this very like large and expansive game that's very open and epic in scope, essentially, right?
Yeah.
You're going on this epic quest to save people and memories and the entire world of Hyrule. Majora's Mask is like very, very small and intimate and personal. It takes place, the setting's not super big. It takes place in a parallel dimension world called Termina, which has essentially just 5 tiny little regions. And a lot of people hate it because it has this mechanic where you have 3 in-game days and then the world ends. And so you have to constantly go back in time and restart the 3 days over and over and over again. A lot of people hate it because they're like, oh, that's so much stress because you have to do it all. You don't have to do it all in 3 days. That's the whole point of the game, is that you can't do it all in 3 days and that you have to go back in time and you have to choose every single day what small, intimate story you want to follow in that particular playthrough of your 3 days. And you just have to do it over and over again until you complete everything and you can save the world because you have everything you need to save this little world of Termina. And it ends up being like this very personal because like you can only follow like one little storyline every single time. And so you're like really getting in deep with like these particular characters and their experiences in the world. And it's wonderful. It's delightful. It's such a good story and it has so much to say and it's very interesting. And I wrote like a whole lecture about it at somebody last night. So like... It's a really good game. I highly suggest it. If you have any thoughts about The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which is the best The Legend of Zelda game, tweet at me. At Miss Delaney. Thank you. That's what I've been playing.
That does sound interesting. I'll play the Switch port when it comes out.
You don't even know,
Don't sigh at me. Don't sigh at me. I have enough games. Okay?
It's fine. I'll just...
You did it again. You did it again. You sighed at me again.
I'll talk to somebody else about it, Al.
You can talk to me about it. Just don't expect me to have any constructive points.
You really want to hear me like rant about like the theories on whether or not Termina is real or ceases to exist at the end of the game? Like, you really
would love to.
All right. I'm almost
not just now.
No, okay. Almost as excited about ranting at you about Zombies Run. Got it. Good. Farming games. Woo.
Yeah, so that's what we have been playing. Shall we talk about some news?
I would love to talk about some news.
So, do you remember last week we talked about Farming Simulator coming to Google Stadia?
Google thing.
Google Games.
Games.google.com. Perfect.
Yeah, no, that's the problem. Is Google Games is a different thing.
I don't know I don't know. I don't use Google.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember that, Rochelle?
Yeah, I do. I remember everything
Well.
we've ever talked about on this podcast.
Well, so that was Farming Simulator 19, which is the current latest version of Farming Simulator. We have just found out in the Nintendo Direct that was last week, or as you're hearing this, 2 weeks ago, that Farming Simulator 20 is coming, and it's coming to Switch.
That's it, right? That's all we know?
Yeah, that's literally all we know. It's coming in Q4 this year, that's it. Now, I don't know very much about this game because I've never played it, but it looks like they have basically 2 sets of games, one of which is odd numbered versions that come to the consoles, like the main, or that comes odd numbers that is on the PC. And I think on the PS4 and Xbox. And then they have the even-numbered ones that come later, normally about a year later, that are on mobile and are based on the previous one. So, based on that, I would presume that 20 is based on 19 and is essentially the mobile and Switch version of 19. And the next version for PC won't come out till next year, which would explain why they're all big about 19 coming out in Stadia just before 20 comes out on Switch. That would be my presumption about this. Because the current version, there is a version on Switch, which is called Farming Simulator Nintendo Switch Edition, is apparently based on Farming Simulator 17. So this would logically be the next version to come onto the Switch, if that makes sense.
It also comes out right before 2020.
They used to name them after years, but they haven't done that. Oh no, wait. Oh, I guess maybe that is what it is. Yeah, because I guess 19 came out last year. Oh, shut up.
Right before 2019?
Yes. However, the point is, it's probably the same as last year's version for other things, but on the Switch.
I guess we'll see.
We will. I mean, literally, we know nothing else.
It's coming.
I'm
That's
just guessing.
it. That's all the news. Goodbye, folks. That's the episode.
News.
All right, we have more news. I know how much
Yes,
everyone
we do.
loves news.
We love news. You know what we love most of all? Stardew news.
Yay! We love Stardew.
It feels like it's been so long since we've had Stardew news.
I mean, it probably has been so long.
Why has it been so long, Rochelle?
Because developing games is hard and takes a lot of time.
Yes. Well, Concerned Ape has posted some new information about the upcoming Stardew release 1.4. And this is a new type of building called the Fish Pond.
Woo!
It looks like you can raise a particular type of fish. So, yeah, that's that.
It's very exciting. They're
raise some fish.
very cute little pond designs. Very cute.
Yes.
It's looking good. I like it. I'm excited.
It is. Same. And finally, in our news section, because I did say it was really small, there's information about the Friends of Mineral Town pre-order bonus in Japan. You can get a cow costume.
In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan. But still, it's a cow costume.
It's
Makes
real
you
cute.
look like a cow.
It's real cute.
It really is. It's great. There's a video that we'll link to in the show notes of a farmer in the cow costume interacting with cows. It's very funny.
You know, Al, I would not have pegged you for somebody who would be really excited about a very cute cow costume, but I appreciate this about you.
What can I say? I am an enigma.
You're an Al.
What can I say, Rochelle? I like cow costumes.
It's real cute.
That's the news.
News, yay.
Woo. Please bring the cow costume to the West, please and thank you.
I'm rooting for you in your cow costume, Al.
Yeah. So, now we come to the main part of this episode, the exciting part of this episode, where we're going to try something a little bit new that we've not done. We're each going to bring a mobile game to the table, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, I figure mobile games are probably simpler and easier to go through. Well, that's what I thought at the beginning of this. So yeah, we're each going to bring one. We're going to share with the class.
All right, on you go then.
All right, this is going to be quick and easy. So, dear listeners, for your consideration, I have brought to you the game Heyday, which is a very popular farming game.
I feel like a lot of these farming games are going to be farming games.
So the way this game works is you start the game and you get a letter from, I believe it's your uncle this time, going, I'm getting rid of my farm. Would you like to move into it? Because you can't just buy your own farm. You have to inherit it from a dead or dying family member.
But he's not dead.
I just assume he's dying, to be honest.
Oh,
like
maybe he just wants to retire.
I think he says he wants to retire or something like that, but I'm choosing to believe he's dying because
That's so sad.
There is one game. Is it DS? So Harvest Moon DS? There's one game where you would actually choose to you're like, I'm going to go buy my own farm because I want to be a farmer. And then every other game is like, my grandpa died. Like, I don't understand this trope. Anyway, so that's a thing. That's how this game starts. So it's a mobile game on the phone. And it feels like a mobile game. So you get your farm. It's covered in trees and rocks and swampy bits. And it's all worn down. And then there's this Clippy-esque scarecrow who teaches you how to do things, whether you need him to or not. The tutorial is obnoxious if you know what you're doing because it does animations to show you what to do, and you cannot choose to skip them, no matter how long they are, even if you know what you're doing. So basically how it goes is there are different things that you unlock at different levels. So like you level up and unlock things. There's a lot of things to unlock. And your primary goal is to just you farm things so you can make things so you can sell things. Because the goal is money. Everything is time-based. So like if you plant some wheat, it takes 2 real-world minutes to grow, and you have to wait. But if you don't want to wait, you can pay diamonds to speed it up. And diamonds are the microtransaction money. This game is very aggressive about trying to get you to do microtransactions. Frighteningly aggressive. Obnoxiously aggressive. So aggressive. I hate it. So you farm crops, you unlock more crops as you level up. You have animals, you unlock more animals as you level up. You start with like wheat and corn and chickens, basically. You can clear your farmland.
The staples.
Yeah, the staples. You can clear your land and put things on it. You have to clear your land to put things on it. But the items you have to use to clear your land, you either get randomly or you have to buy or you have to pay microtransaction money for.
I'm starting to see a theme here. And it's not a pretty theme.
Yeah. This game plays fine if you are very patient. Very patient with things taking a long time to complete. And if not, you're going to spend a lot of money. I believe that's their goal.
To make money.
Yeah.
It's almost like they took that and put it into a game.
Yeah. In the form of maybe like small transactions that like people won't notice or think about terribly much, but like easily get out of hand. Let's call them
but it's
Microtransactions.
But it's clever because if you make a game about making money, then they won't think about the money that you're making. They'll think about the money they're making that isn't real.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, like, I'm not a big fan of microtransactions, but I don't hate them. I hate them in this game. Like, it's just way overpowered.